Good morning and welcome to Agent 3000 Part 1 All-in-One Marketing. I'm Maggie. I'll be your trainer this morning. With you in the chat, you'll have Connie. She's also a trainer. She'll be there to answer your questions and to share important information with you as we go through the class. So everything I'm showing you today is included with your membership. You can log out of class today, jump into Agent 3000 and do everything that I will be doing today. Parts 2 and 3 cover the upgrade. And so the upgrade does give you access to a CRM, a website, a component to create a video slideshow from MLS photos, and an email template designer. So all of that is covered in parts 2 and 3. So let's go ahead and get started again. Everything I'm doing today is included with your membership. Everything that I'm showing you today is free for Miami members. You don't have to pay anything for the tools that we're going to use in today's class. I'm going to go ahead and log into the gateway. So remember, from our website up at the top, it says log in with the Miami Gateway. And also beneath the announcements, you have an icon that says Miami Gateway, and you can use either one of these to log into the Miami Gateway, where you will find Agent 3000. Okay. I cheated and I looked at the chat. This is the last time I'm going to do that before I start the class. But to answer Alex's question, at the end of class, I'll go ahead and I'll show you the website that I have through Agent 3000 that I use in class. Okay. And Connie just said it maybe towards the end. I want to make sure I cover everything for today's class. All right. So we're going to go ahead and launch Agent 3000 right here. Please know that all of the properties that I am using in today's class have been listed in Matrix as okay to advertise. Yes. If you do not know much about okay to advertise, we have an entire playlist on our YouTube channel explaining okay to advertise, and also including videos on how you can use those listings and use our products to then promote the listings. So okay to advertise means if it says yes, that you can go ahead and promote it. If it says with written permission, you need permission from the listing agent. And if it says no, that's a no. Don't even ask. They said no for a reason. But if it says okay to advertise, yes, you are free to then use tools like Agent 3000 and promote the listings, which is what I'm doing today. So every time that you go into Agent 3000, you do have updates. They are really good about letting you know what's changed since the last time that you came into the system. They also like to show you what classes are coming up. So they'll go into our portal. Here they have a link. So if you wanted to see those classes, once you log into Agent 3000, they've gone ahead and linked it. Now, this is our home screen. Mine looks a little different because as an instructor, I have access to the upgrades because I teach members how to use their upgrade, but it's kind of the same setup for everyone. I just have a few more components on my screen than you would if you have not purchased the upgrade. Again, everything today is included. Now, before we get started, I do want to point out this is a product that was created by a gentleman who was a broker and an agent up north, and now he lives on the west coast of Florida, I believe. His name is Sean. He's very hands-on. So on the right-hand side in the top corner, they do have a link to their Facebook business page so that you can follow them on Facebook. They have a little envelope with their email address. They have an icon of a phone with their phone number. When you send an email or when you call, the person who answers or replies to you is Sean himself, and he's the CEO and creator of Agent 3000. He is very hands-on, he is very open to feedback, and he is very helpful. So if at any point in time you have a question about Agent 3000, Sean is more than willing to assist. Also, if you have any feedback, I wonder if I could do this, or if Agent 3000 could do this, let him know, because if it is feasible, he has been known to rearrange things based on feedback from users. They also have their own webinars. So all the way to the right, there's an icon for their webinars. These are hosted by Agent 3000. You can see the schedule of those webinars on the left where it says webinars. So if they have any upcoming webinars, that would be listed under webinar schedule. And if they have recorded any of those, you would see it under recorded webinars. All right. So on the left-hand side, we have all of our main menu options. And then on the right-hand side, we have different tiles and squares dedicated to different components. And again, some of these do belong to the upgrade. But I do want to make sure that we set up our profile because that information is pulled into certain things that we will be creating in today's class. So top left corner, there is a small green circle. When I hover over it, it says settings. So top left corner, green circle says settings. I'm going to go ahead and click there. Where it says profile, make sure that you fill this out. This information is then pulled into the flyers that we're going to create, the collages that we're going to create. So make sure that you fill this out. Your name. If you have any designations and certifications, you can go ahead and just put a comma and list those. The company name, you do have to make sure that you declare what brokerage you're with, the office address, office phone number, your direct phone number, office fax, email, and your website. When you are done filling out this basic profile information, please make sure that you save that by clicking on Save Account Profile on the left-hand side. If you don't and you just go ahead and close, it will not save what you just did. So make sure that you fill this out and click on Save Account Profile on the left-hand side. You can also load in your office logo. So if you go back up to the top, you can click on logo, add in your office or broker's logo, and you can also add in your picture. Okay. The logo and the photo do not have a save button. It does save as soon as it's loaded. And then once you have uploaded that logo or photo, you can go ahead and close this box out. There's a close button on the bottom right, and there's an X top right. Okay, now, today specifically, we will be discussing the social media tools. Specifically, I will be working with the listing collage post. Okay, and I will also show you the website screenshot share. I will also be creating a landing page with you, which is used for lead capture. We will also be going into the flyers. You have quite a few designs, and I'll be creating a few examples using the flyers. And then we'll also discuss the single property websites, which are basically landing pages for listings, whether yours or those that said okay to advertise yes. Time permitting, I'll also show you QR codes, especially since we are living in an era of social distancing and we're trying to minimize contact. The QR codes come in handy. So I want to make sure that I show you that as well. So let's go ahead and start with a landing page. On the left-hand side, I'm going to click on landing pages. Again, this is a lead capture. So let me show you an example of one that I created. This is what we are generating. You can use a stock image that Agent 3000 is providing. You can use an image of your own. Just make sure that it is high quality, high resolution. And then once you're done creating this page, you can share it on social media or blast it out in an email and hopefully gather information of those who have decided to fill this out. That's why I say it is a lead capture, not a lead generator. Okay, lead generation feeds you leads, whereas lead capture relies on the person who visits this page to fill out their information and submit it. All right, so let's go ahead and design one. You can design one to attract buyers, to attract sellers, investors. You can design one to see who's interested in attending workshops that you might be hosting, you know, those first-time home buyer workshops or how to improve your credit. I had a member who used this for their open houses. And so what they did was they created a landing page. They used a photo of the listing as the background. And then they had a computer or tablet set up at the front door. Everyone who entered submitted their information. And then at the end of the open house, the member had a list of all those who had attended. So the point is that you can create a landing page for a variety of reasons. You can create as many of them as you'd like. There are no limits to how many you can have and how many are stored in your Agent 3000 account. So let's say I'm creating a landing page for potential buyers, right? I'm going to, when you name it, please know that when you share it on social media, the name is visible. So make sure that you name it something legible and in terms of that it is understood. Leave out any acronyms. But if I'm attracting a potential buyer in South Florida. Maybe they're renting. So maybe I want to make the title something like tired of paying high rent, right? Or you can just leave it as interested in buying. You name it whatever you'd like, but I do need you to know it is visible. Do you want to add your contact information to this landing page? That is personal preference. I'm going to add it in so that I can show you where it is located on the landing page. The background can be an image or the map. If you decide to go with an image, you would then click on select image. You can upload your own. So when using the example of that member who did it for the open house, they used an image of the listing. But if you're doing this as a generic lead capture, like the example I'm doing today, you do have examples, different stock images down here at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I am going to select these happy people right here. And then I scroll down and I click on select. Now, once you have selected the image, you do have the option of editing the dialog box that appears in the center of the screen. So there's a little preview right here. And if you notice, the dialog box by default is white and it is 100% opaque, meaning it is not transparent and it blocks out the faces in the stock image, which makes it look a little strange. You can change the color of this box and you can also change the opacity, meaning you can make it a little more transparent. So if I wanted to change the color, you'll notice that where it says dialog BG color, which is background color, you click on the tiny square and you have your choice of a basic color or an advanced color. Okay, so it's up to you. Let's say I want to do something green, right? And I click on select. Now, I don't want it to be opaque. I want to make it transparent. So where it says dialog BG opacity, I'm going to move this little dot over and now it's allowing that background image to be seen, but it's still slightly shaded so that the fields that they have to fill out are still front and center. Okay, I'm going to go back to white actually. There we go. And I made it a little transparent. I know the preview is a little tiny, but it's so that you can see what's going on. Now, call to action is basically the title they would see on this page right above the fields that they have to fill out. So what am I going to say in call to action? I could say something like, if you are interested in purchasing a property, fill out the fields below. Right? Now, this is how it would appear. So it's kind of small. It would probably get lost on the page. So you can use these tools. You have your cut, copy, paste, your undo and redo, some spell check. You can add an image, but you already have an image in the background. You can add in a table, a line break, an emoticon, a special character, bold, italicize, underline, strike through, subscript, superscript, numbered list, bulleted list, indentation, alignment. You can add in a hyperlink. You have styles. You have different paragraph formats, font, right? So let's say I want to make this Tahoma, size. Let's go ahead and make this 36. And I always like to make it bold so that it's really visible. And we can also change the color, right? But I'm going to leave it black font. Now the button text, once the person fills out the fields with, their contact information, like their name, their email, their phone number, they have to click on a button to submit it. What do I want that button to say, right? I could have it simply say submit. You don't have to be creative with everything, but there we go. I could have it say click here. I could have it say send me listings, whatever the case may be, right? I'm just going to say submit. Email address. Now, once they submit their information, Agent 3000 will email it to you. Where it asks for email address, that is where you would like those leads to be sent. So I'm going to go ahead and just use a Gmail account that I have. Okay, and that's up to you. So everyone who fills out this page, that information would get sent to my email address. Continue with Facebook allows the person to click on continue with Facebook, and it will use the information that they have on their Facebook account to send that to you. That's up to you. I'm going to leave it so you can see what it looks like. Alternatively, you can also allow them to fill out the fields. So you can require things like their name, their phone number, their email, or address. Statistically, they have found, and by they I mean Facebook, this was some information that Facebook found. If you are asking for more than 3 items of information, it is less likely, or they are less likely to fill it out. And we do not want them to get to this point, read it and say, they want too much information, forget about it. So I would recommend 3 or less. Now, if you decide to include email, let me show you what happens. You see how I get this additional section popping up right at the bottom of the screen? Because when you require the email address, it will generate like an automatic response, and you can design your automatic response down here. Okay. Now the optional group and optional drip email action plan, that's part of the upgrade. The response is what appears on screen once they've submitted their information. Do we want it to just say, hey, thank you so much for submitting, I'll be in touch with you shortly? Or do we want to redirect them to a website? So if you have a website, when they click on the button, the screen would then change to your website. That's up to you. Email subject for prospects. So once they submit it, if you ask them for their email address, they will get a message, and this is where you design that message. So I can make my subject say, thank you for contacting me. And then in the actual message, they have a little generic message here. Thank you for your interest. This is what I wrote. Thank you for your interest. By the way, is there any specific criteria or features that you're interested in? And then you can add in your signature, right? So you can have it say your office, you can include your phone number, etc. And this message automatically goes out to every single person who fills out this landing page. All right. So once you've got your message, that's your auto response. Basically, you have Facebook Pixel. Facebook Pixel, Google Analytics, and AdWorks will all track the traffic to a page. They will not supply private information because we don't want to violate anyone's privacy. But Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics are free. And if you have those set up, you can supply the information here and see how many people have clicked on the page. AdWorks, I believe, has an additional fee. Other embed code, if you have another system similar to Facebook Pixel, Google Analytics, or AdWorks that you use, you can email Agent 3000 and they'll look into it. Once you are done filling all of this out, you're going to click on Submit on the left-hand side. Okay, it saved my landing page. Where did it save? At the bottom of the screen. So it should be the last one. There it is. If I want to go ahead and I can click on this link to view it, I can scroll over to the right, I can edit, and I can also delete the page. So this is what my page looks like. Okay, if you're interested in purchasing a property, fill out the fields below. They can continue with Facebook. It will pull whatever information they have on Facebook, or they can fill out their name, phone number, and email and click submit. I also made sure to add in my contact information, and I said I did so that you could see where it is. It doesn't distract them from the main purpose, which is to fill out these fields. But if they are looking for some sort of credentials, in the top left corner, there's little 3 lines. When they click, they'll see your information, and this comes from the profile that we filled out at the beginning of class. Okay? So what would I do? I would take this link right up here, I would copy it, and I would paste it into, Facebook or Twitter. I can't share links on Instagram unless you create something like Linktree, and then you could maybe put it on your Linktree. So let me show you what I would do. I would go to my Facebook business page, right? I've copied that link where it says create a post on my business page. I'm going to click and I'm going to paste this link in. So this is what they would see. This is why I said be very careful what you name it, because it does show up. Once this preview is here, you can actually delete this link and then you can say a little something, go ahead and post it. You can even boost the post and create a promotion out of it. If you haven't taken our social media classes and you're interested in learning a little bit more about boosting posts and promotions and ads and generating content for social media, I highly recommend our social media marketing series. It's a 4-part series. And I believe that this month Connie is teaching it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go back to Agent 3000. So the landing pages that you create are going to be saved at the bottom of the screen, and they'll stay there as long as you leave them until you decide to delete them. All the way to the right, if you needed to edit something, for example, maybe I want to make this phrase a little bit smaller on the page. Maybe I want to change the color. I can click on edit and then just submit those changes, or you can delete it altogether by clicking on delete. All right. So those are the landing pages. And again, as I mentioned, you can use it to attract potential buyers, potential sellers, investors, gather information on those interested in attending workshops. You can use it at your open houses. Really, the possibilities are endless. Your landing pages, though, you are responsible for posting them and sharing them. So you are generating content here, and then you have to go spread that content all over the place. All right, so now that we're done with the landing pages, let's talk about the social media tools. If I click on social media tools, we have, they have created tutorials of their own on Facebook marketing. Highly recommend you check those out if you're interested. But I do want to show you the website screenshot share, which is difficult to say quickly, and your listing collage post. The website screenshot share. Let me show you what happens on Facebook every time I try to share our website, the association's website. So I come in here and I put www.miamirealtors.com. And that's the preview that's generated. It says Miami Gateway. I don't like that preview. Sometimes that preview doesn't even come up. Sometimes it's just like a gray rectangle. So you can use the website screenshot share. And what it'll do is it'll take a screenshot of that page and use that as the preview. So let me show you. I go to Agent 3000, I click on social media tools, and I click on website screenshot share. And this is for those situations where you go to share a link on Facebook and it just doesn't look right. You're going to type in or copy and paste the link into this field. So I'm just going to take our website, copy it, and paste it. Now, when they take the screenshot, you can have it say click to view so that the person knows it's not just a picture, but it's actually a link and they can click. And you can also rotate that 30 degrees so it'll appear diagonal instead of straight across. So let me show you. If I just say, hey, I need a screenshot of this website, and I click on get screenshot, they're going to go take a picture or a screenshot of that website. And that's the preview that I would use on my social media. Let me give it a few seconds. There we go. So in my opinion, this preview looks 1,000 times better than this preview, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but I prefer this preview much more. Now that it's generated this screenshot, I can post it, if you notice, to social media. I can post it on Facebook, on Pinterest, or on LinkedIn. Again, there's no option to post to Instagram because Instagram does not allow interactive links that are embedded within images. So I cannot post an interactive link on Instagram. I cannot post it in the caption. There is only one place where I'm allowed to post a link, and that is in the profile or biography. And it is one link only. So I can post this to Facebook, to Pinterest, to LinkedIn. I can post it to Twitter. Now you have two additional options. You can also add a phrase that says click to view. So let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to check it off and get the screenshot. Just takes a few seconds. All right, so now it's the screenshot, but it also has this lovely phrase in the middle that attracts the eye and tells them, hey, click here for more information, right? Click to view. The second option beneath the click to view overlay is to rotate it 30 degrees so that instead of it appearing perfectly centered, it would appear diagonally across the screenshot. So let me show you what that looks like. And again, this is a great tool when you go to share a link, and it's specifically on Facebook where I've found that I have this issue. You go to share a link, the preview doesn't look all that great, or you would rather it look a little different. You can use the website screenshot share and generate something that's a little more visually appealing. Okay, so here's the click to view rotated 30 degrees, which makes it diagonal. Okay, and that's personal preference. The other tool I'd like to show you under social media tools is the listing collage post. So this is where those okay to advertise yes options come in. Before class started, I went into Matrix, I ran a search, and I pulled some listings that said okay to advertise yes. And of course, I selected multi-million-dollar listings so that we have something nice to look at. What you would do is you would come here, and if it's your listing, you should see it in the dropdown. If it's not your listing, but it's okay to advertise yes, you would supply the MLS number. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the first one that I found. Okay, you plug in the MLS number, you give it a second or two, and it should narrow it down. There it is. It's in Miami Beach. It's single family. I'm going to click on it. This authorization is reminding you that if it is not your listing, you need to make sure that you're complying with rules and regulations and that you're not doing anything in violation of rules and regulations. This says, okay to advertise yes, so I am safe. I'm going to accept the terms and agree. It pulls all of the pictures from the MLS. And as you can see, this listing had quite a few. I can now select my 5 favorite pictures and order them however I'd like in this collage. So for example, I'm going to take this first one. I'm going to click and drag and place it in photo slot number 1. I'm going to take this one, click and drag, put it in number 2. I'm going to put this one in number 3. Let's put the pool, number 4, and let's put, I don't know, living room area, I think, in number 5. So you are going to select your 5 favorite pictures and you are going to click and drag them into this collage. If you want to replace a picture, all you have to do is click, cover the picture that you don't want anymore. Once you've selected your top 5 pictures, you're going to click on create collage. All right. It puts them together into this collage, and I can now share this collage on Facebook, Pinterest, or LinkedIn. Okay, let me go ahead and click on Facebook. When I post it to Facebook, and this is something we discuss in social media, but I do want to point it out today, it automatically wants to post to your personal account. And Facebook is getting strict about posting business-related things to personal accounts. So we want to make sure that in the top left corner, and again, I say this repeatedly in the social media classes, up here where it says share to newsfeed or story, make sure that you switch that to share on a page. We want to post this on our business page. We can say a little something and then post it. Now, when you post it, it is a link. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you. It should already be on my Facebook. Let me refresh. It posts that collage. So you've got 5 really beautiful pictures that you've arranged how you see fit in that little collage. Here we go. And the person can now click on it and view additional information. I have the upgrade. So when they click on it, it's going to open up my website. If you do not have the upgrade, what it will do is open up a landing page. Okay, so let me wait for it to finish loading. So when they click on it, because I have the upgrade, this is what they see. If you do not have the upgrade, what they see is a little different. Let me show you what they see so that you can see the difference between having the upgrade and not. So whether you have the upgrade or not, you can still create a listing collage post, but the difference is when they click on it, how is it going to be viewed? So I would like to show you the difference between the two, right? So give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and generate what is seen when you do not have the upgrade. All right. So when I post it on Facebook, whether I have the upgrade or not, this is what my followers will see. Okay. When you have the upgrade and they click on it, this is what they would open or something similar. Okay. It's very modern feel, right? And they can go ahead and see all the information. When you do not have the upgrade and they click on that collage, this is what they see, which isn't a bad option either. It's got your contact information, it's got your picture, it's got the details, all the photos for the listing. But that's the biggest difference with the listing collage. What gets seen on Facebook at a glance, this is going to be the same for everybody. What will differ if you have the upgrade is what the consumer sees once they click on the collage. So if you have the upgrade, they're going to see something like this. And if you do not have the upgrade, they're going to see something like this. Again, both of them are great options. Okay, but that listing collage, honestly, if you wanted to post that listing collage to social media, to Instagram specifically, you could download that collage and do so. It's just not going to be interactive, which means there's nothing for them to click on. It would just be a collage of 5 pictures. So again, you would go to social media tools, click on listing collage post, supply the MLS number, create your collage. You do have a shortcut to then post it on Facebook, Pinterest, or LinkedIn. You could save that collage and post it on Instagram. However, it would not be interactive. So they can't tap on it and view the additional details. And they can't tap on any links in the caption. So it would just be static pictures. Okay, so again, the other reason as well is that on Instagram, we can't post from a computer. So you're never going to see a shortcut unless it changes. You're not going to see a shortcut when you're on a computer or laptop to post something to Instagram, because Instagram only allows you to post from mobile devices. All right, so those were the social media tools. I happen to love the listing collage post. I think it's wonderful. Let's talk about the flyers. These are my favorite flyers. When you create flyers in other products, you do not get to select the pictures. You don't get to change the design, but you do here in Agent 3000. So if I scroll down a little bit and I go to flyers, you can create a flyer with 1 picture, 4 pictures, 10 pictures. You can create a flyer to announce or, promote an open house, or you can create a flyer that says just listed, just sold, or for rent. Please only use the open house flyer and the just listed, just sold for rent if it is your listing or your team's listing. I wouldn't use these with the okay to advertise. Okay. I wouldn't use the just listed. Why? Because I didn't just list it. Someone else did. So stick to using open house flyers and the just listed, just sold, and for rent if it is your listing. Let's go ahead and create a 10 photo flyer so that you can see what I mean about creating your own design. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use another okay to advertise yes property. And I'm going to say, here's the MLS number. And this one is in Weston. So the first property was in Miami Beach. This example is in Weston. There it is. It said okay to advertise yes. So I'm going to accept the terms and agree. Here are the pictures from the MLS. Right. And I'm going to click and drag the pictures in. And because I selected 10 photo flyer, I can select up to 10 pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop some pictures in, and you can pick up to 10. Be mindful of the fact that if that listing only had 5 pictures, I'm going to have blank spaces. So I need to make sure I pick the correct flyer based on what's going on with the listing. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag and drop a couple more. Let's do some more. All right. Now, once you are done dragging and dropping pictures into, remember, if you don't like something, you can just cover it with a new picture. Once I'm done dragging and dropping the pictures in, you can decide to remove the address, do not show address. You can remove the list price. You can add in your picture or a QR code. You can add in your name, your email, your phone number. Background image, when I click on select image, there are borders or frames and then 2 background images. So I'm going to go ahead and select a frame. You can change the background color. I always leave it white because it's just easier to read font on a white background for the most part. You can change the color of the background and of the text, but if you're printing, I would recommend leaving it white so that you don't waste a ton of ink or get charged extra for printing something with so much color. The amenities come over from the MLS, but you can edit because sometimes they're abbreviated and they don't make sense. You can edit them. And the remarks come over from the MLS as well, but you can actually come in here and edit. So for example, I want to go ahead and capitalize that F in February, I can do so. Now at the bottom of the screen, I have 3 options. I can either create a PDF, which is the traditional flyer. That's what I would send as an attachment to the printers. That's what I would save on my computer if I want to print it out at the office. But I can't post documents to Facebook. So Sean added in the second option, and that was something that came from a conversation with the trainers. Create a JPEG image. It basically takes a screenshot of the flyer, and now I can post that screenshot to Facebook. And then the last option is post to social networks. It doesn't post the actual flyer, it posts an icon that says click here to view. So I'm going to show you what those look like. This is, so I went ahead and I clicked on create PDF, which is the traditional document. This is what the flyer looks like. Right? There's that nice border. My information is at the bottom of the screen. Here are the 10 pictures that I selected. I cannot save this and post it to Facebook. Facebook doesn't let me post documents. I can only post pictures and videos. So what I would do is I would use the second option, which is create a JPEG image. When I click on create a JPEG image, it is the same flyer I just showed you, but instead of being a PDF, it's a JPEG. It's a picture. This is a picture. So now I can take this and I can say, right click, copy this image. I can go to Facebook and I can say, I'm pasting this in, and I can post this lovely flyer on my Facebook business page, right? I'm going to say something like, want to learn how to use Agent 3000 marketing tools. Sign up for class. You would say something different. We go ahead and we post it. It's going to post that actual flyer. All right, it's going to post. And here it is. And it looks great. I think it looks wonderful. Now, your last option is to post to social networks. And instead of posting that beautiful flyer, it's going to generate an icon. It's going to generate like a banner, right? So I can post to Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, or send via email. Let me show you what it looks like. So instead of posting that flyer, it is going to post this graphic. Remember that you need to switch to share on a page. It's going to post this graphic, and then the person would have to click on it to then view the flyer. So ultimately, what you decide to use to post the flyer that you create is entirely up to you, but I did want you to see the differences. So the PDF is going to just be the document. However, I cannot post that to Facebook. I cannot post a document to Twitter. I can to LinkedIn though. The second option is create a JPEG image. It's going to take a screenshot and it's going to allow you to post that picture or that screenshot to social media. And then the last option creates a banner that says click here, and they would need to click on that banner to then see the flyer that you created. So ultimately it is personal preference. All right, now the flyer for the open house looks the same, but what they do is along the top, they're gonna go ahead and put open house, or they're gonna go ahead and put just listed, just sold, or for rent. So let me show you. I'm not actually gonna post this flyer because it is not my listing, but I do wanna show you. I'm gonna go ahead and just plug in an MLS number again and show you what the open house flyer looks like, which is also what the just listed, just sold, for rent flyer looks like. Okay, so here are the pictures. You're gonna click and drag. You have space for 6 pictures here. You're gonna go ahead and take your preferred pictures and plug and play. Okay, so I'm picking 6 pictures. You can remove the address, although if it's an open house flyer, I don't know why you would want to remove the address. You want them to know where to go. You can remove the price. That makes sense, so that you can dangle a little bit of bait and have them go. It can be an open house or a broker open house. Open house is public, broker open house is brokers only, agents only. Date. So let's say it's this Saturday from 1 to 4. If you have 2 time slots or 2 dates set up, you can optional. You can add in the second date. You can add in your picture, or you can add in your QR code. And then after that, you have your name, your email, your phone number. You can select that frame. You can change the background color, the color of the text. You can edit the amenities. You can edit the remarks. And then you have the same 3 options at the bottom: the PDF, the Jpeg, or the banner. This flyer looks pretty similar to the flyer I just showed you with the 10 pictures, except it only has 6. And then at the top, it'll say open house with the date and time. The just listed, just sold, for rent flyer looks the same, except where it says open house, it would replace it with the phrase just listed, just sold, or for rent, depending on which of the phrases you select. Okay. All right, so now that we have discussed the flyers, and like I said, I love the flyers in Agent 3000. I think they're great. Let's talk about the single property websites. This is another way for you to promote listings, whether they're yours or okay to advertise. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Now, the single property websites, if you have listings, you would see them listed down here at the bottom of the screen. Or if your broker has opted into it, you would see your office listings as well. But let's say that, again, I'm using those okay to advertise. Yes, I plug in the MLS number, and you do have different design options available. So I actually showed you one of these pages already, but I want to show you the other designs. So it said okay to advertise. Yes, I'm going to agree. And I'm going to show you. So these are the different templates, right? I've got 3 templates. 2 of them have black or white options. This is the original template. And this is what I had shown you earlier. It used to be the only option. But recently, they went ahead and added in 2 more templates. So this is template number 2 with the black header. So it's got a more modern design. All of them have the accessibility tools. As you can see, I'm hovering over it on the right-hand side, which is nice so that you're ADA compliant. Okay, the pictures are scrolling through. So it's just a little more modern. You have the same option, but with a white header. Okay, so same thing, but the accent color at the top is white. You have a 3rd template. Accent color is black. Okay, and then you have that same template, but with the accent color being white up at the top. So you now have design choices. So for each listing that you decide to create a single property website for, you do have 3 templates available. 2 of them have color options between black and white. Okay. And then the last thing I'd like to show you are the QR codes. The QR codes, I'm sure that you have at this point in time experienced the use of QR codes. If you go to a restaurant, most of them have a QR code for you to open the menu so that they're not handing out menus and they're limiting cross-contamination. You might have seen a QR code on your food. A lot of food has a QR code that'll take you to the nutritional value and additional information. Maybe you saw a QR code on a coupon, on a flyer, but that QR code is basically just a little square that someone can scan with their mobile device camera and see additional information. So when you click on QR codes, you can generate a QR code for a listing, a Vcard, which is your contact information, a website, or text. The text could be something like open house this Saturday, right? Now for the listing, you would provide the MLS number here, and then you could opt to force the customer to enter their email to view the listing. So you would be capturing leads as well. And then where it's a select type of advertising to track, you would select where this is going to go. Is it going to go on a sign, a newspaper, magazine, postcard, website, etc. So I would plug in the MLS number. This is only for those of you that have listings. It will show the listing agent. So this is the one part in Agent 3000 where I would not recommend using the MLS number of a listing that said okay to advertise yes, because the listing agent will show up, not you. So I'm not going to use this, but basically person scans the code and it opens up additional information. As the listing agent, you can put this QR code all around during an open house, and instead of having flyers and stacks of paper that everybody's touching, you can just say scan for more information, and they could open up the information on their cell phone and just have a QR code in every room. You also have the Vcard, which is contact information. So what I'm going to do is you fill this out with your information. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in my info so that I can show you how the QR code works. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the QR code. If you are on your computer and you have your cell phone nearby, open up your camera, point it at the QR code, and it should, along the top, prompt you to save my information as a contact. If your cell phone camera does not automatically generate that prompt, you may need to download a QR code scanner, and those applications are free. They have tons of them in your Google Play Store. But I know that if it's an iPhone, it's already built into the camera. You're going to point it at that QR code. You're going to get the prompt at the top that says add, Maggie to your contacts, and then you'll be able to save my contact information. Okay, this QR code you can put on your business cards. Again, if you have an open house, you can put it up at the open house, or put it on a flyer, or put it anywhere really where you want to make sure that your contact information is available. And again, it is going to lead them to whatever information you filled out here. In this case, it's going to lead you to save my information with my phone number and my email. Also, I can take this little QR code, right click on it, I can save it, and then I can store it on my cell phone. So if I meet someone and I don't have a business card, I can use it. But also, if you meet someone and you don't have your business card, you have something called a Savvy card. We teach you how to use it in a class called Working with Buyers and Sellers. You can also create a QR code for a website. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how that works. Someone earlier today was asking about the website that is part of the upgrade. This is mine. Okay, everything is built by Sean at Agent 3000, and then you can come in and modify or edit details. So I changed the background picture, I added in some menu options, but he added the rest of this in. It does have an IDX feed, so when someone runs a search, it's pulling from the IDX, is pulling from those listings. You can feature properties. Okay, you can put testimonials, etc. So let's say I wanted to share this. I'm going to, or I can create a QR code for a URL. I'm going to go ahead and get QR code. Again, if you have your cell phone handy and you're viewing this webinar on your computer, Go ahead and point your phone camera at this QR code. If it doesn't work with your phone camera, you may need to download an application and they're free. Point it, it's going to prompt you to open the website. Again, if you have an iPhone, it is built into the camera. Most Samsungs have it built in as well. It's going to say open link. You're going to open that link and it should take you to my website. This also allows me to show you that the website is mobile friendly. So it looks great on the computer and it will also look nice on a mobile device. Everything readjusts perfectly. Okay, and that is officially the end of Agent 3000 Part 1. Thank you so much for being Miami members. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe.